Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. This is not the algorithm bringing you here today. This is an urgent and direct divine interception. Someone from your past just admitted something terrifying to their inner circle. And right now, that entire toxic group is completely panicking. Do not swipe away. If you leave this screen, you will miss the exact revelation that explains why your energy has felt so heavy lately. They thought you were broken. They thought their silence would destroy your spirit. But they were wrong. Funny how everyone pretended they did not see you coming. They always described you the same way to make themselves feel better. They called you too emotional, too sensitive, and completely out of touch with reality. But behind closed doors, the person who hurt you just confessed the absolute truth. They admitted that they can no longer fight the intense spiritual pull you have over their life. Your absence is literally driving them insane, and their friends are terrified because they are watching your quiet authority dismantle everything they built. For months, this group of narcissists fed off your pure energy. They used your kindness as a battery to power their own chaotic lives. When you finally established your boundaries, they convinced each other that you would eventually crawl back. But you never did. You chose the brutal path of healing alone in the dark, and that decision completely short-circuited their reality. Your person just told them that every single day without you feels like a physical punishment. The guilt is eating them alive from the inside out. You have felt this massive shift in the atmosphere for weeks now. You wake up at odd hours of the night with your heart racing and your mind completely flooded with strange thoughts. That is not anxiety making your chest tight. That is your spirit detecting their chaotic energy, desperately trying to reach you. Heaven had to step in and isolate you to protect your aura from their desperation. They are realizing that their manipulation tactics have absolutely zero power over the new version of you. You have become untouchable. They thought your silence was a sign of defeat. They assumed you were sitting in the dark and begging the universe to bring them back. But instead, you leveled up in silence and became the storm they never expected. Your energy now demands respect without you having to speak a single word. And this is exactly what your person confessed to their toxic friends. They admitted that walking away from you was the most fatal mistake of their entire existence. The table has completely turned. Now they are the ones bleeding in the dark. But there is a much deeper layer to this phenomenon that you must understand right now. The reason their energy is suddenly hitting you so hard is because a massive spiritual portal has just opened over your life. Heaven is preparing to hand you a generational blessing. The tests, the tears, and the intense feeling that God was completely silent were all just a rigorous preparation. You had to be isolated so you could learn how to hold the immense power coming your way. But there is a hidden mechanism blocking it. Before we go any further into what they are planning next, I want to hold something in front of you. Something that was discovered not inside a church or a spiritual community, but inside a secure research laboratory. It won the highest scientific recognition available, yet most chosen ones have never been told about it. Because it explains something I know you have felt deeply. That frustrating gap between the person you know yourself to be and the version of you that seems available only in brief flashes. I will show you exactly what those researchers found, but not yet. First, I need you to fully understand what was actually taken from you during those years of suffering. So I need you to hold this specific question in your mind as we continue. What if the gap between your effort and your breakthrough is not a character flaw? What if it has a specific scientific name? Keep that question anchored in your spirit. The answer is closer than you think, and I will reveal it before this message ends. Take one slow, real breath. Let that massive realization settle into your spirit right now. You are not crazy, and you are not imagining the heavy energy trying to drag you down. The people who tried to bury you did not realize you were a seed, and now you are breaking through the soil. But to fully step into this master of reality phase, you need to hear exactly what is happening in their camp. Do not look away. The truth about their panic is about to validate every single tear you cried. Right now, their inner circle is desperately trying to convince your person to move on. They are throwing distractions and new superficial connections at them, but nothing is working. Because your frequency has already been imprinted on their soul, you became the weapon you were trying to survive, and they are completely powerless against it. I need you to pay close attention to this next part, because it will make sense of your entire past year. The spiritual warfare you endured was never about your destruction. Listen carefully to what I am about to say next. Take a moment and feel the rhythm of your own breathing. I know exactly how exhausting these past few weeks have been for you. You are constantly waking up at 3 in the morning. Your mind is racing with heavy thoughts that do not even belong to you, and that strange tightness in your chest refuses to go away. You push through the days and you smile for the people who need you, but inside, your energy is running completely empty. Stop letting the world convince you that you are just stressed or losing your mind. The extreme loneliness you have been feeling is absolutely not a curse. It is a rigorous spiritual crucible designed to protect your aura. Heaven had to ruthlessly remove those counterfeit connections from your life, because they were placed there to completely drain your energy. You are not being punished by the universe. You are being divinely isolated for a massive upgrade. The silence is your shield. Those toxic individuals used to feed on your pure empathy. They took your endless forgiveness and weaponized it against you. When you finally closed the heavy door, they called you cold and heartless. But a healed person no longer tolerates disrespect disguised as honesty. You became the empath with boundaries, and that sudden shift completely broke their dark control over your reality. Your isolation is the exact reason their manipulation tactics are failing so miserably right now. But there is a deeper layer to this invisible phenomenon. Here is what they never told you about your spiritual gifts. The reason the universe responds to certain people and not others is not just about blind faith. It is not about karma or forcing yourself to stay positive. It is an actual physical brainwave. Scientists have a specific name for it. They call it gamma. And it is the exact frequency your brain was running naturally when you were a bright and gifted child. Remember what it felt like back then? Ideas came easily, and learning felt completely effortless. You somehow knew things before they happened. The world felt like it was totally on your side. That effortless genius was your gamma frequency operating at peak capacity. Intuition was incredibly sharp. Synchronicities happened every single day. You were fully connected to the divine flow of the universe without even trying. That was your true birthright as a chosen one. Then, adulthood arrived, and everything drastically changed. The modern world went to relentless work on you. The daily stress and the endless glowing screens took their heavy toll. The brutal survival routine began to crush your bright spirit. And the toxic people you trusted slowly drained your radiant light. Every single year, this sacred frequency was suppressed a little further. It was pushed deeper and deeper below the surface, until you completely forgot it was even there. When your gamma frequency faded, your natural genius went completely silent with it. Your deep intuition became clouded by heavy anxiety and terrible self-doubt. The magical synchronicities stopped happening, and the overwhelming sense that the universe was working with you slowly disappeared. You started feeling like you had to fight for every single blessing. You watched other people succeed effortlessly while you struggled just to keep your head above the chaotic water. That is exactly why you have felt so incredibly stuck lately. You have tried everything to get your divine spark back. You prayed and you manifested. You did the painful inner work and forgave the people who broke your heart, but life still felt blocked. You sensed something crucial was missing, but you had absolutely no name for what it was. You knew deep down you carried a much higher potential than you were expressing. The spiritual block was never your fault. Most ordinary people will live their entire lives without knowing this invisible suppression happened to them. They will accept the daily struggle and settle for much less. But you are not most people. You are a rare soul. And the question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago is very important. The question about a gap and a hidden name. The answer to that question is closer than you think. What was taken from you without your consent is exactly what heaven is restoring today. You are finally waking up. The heavy fatigue you feel is your physical body adjusting to this massive timeline shift. The enemy wanted you to believe that your best days were permanently trapped in the past. They wanted your gamma brainwave to stay heavily suppressed. Because a chosen one, operating at full frequency, is entirely unstoppable. They can no longer manipulate what they cannot access. Your spiritual restoration is terrifying the people who used to control your old reality. Do not let them pull you back down into their chaotic beta wave matrix. You must protect this new awareness at all costs. Hit subscribe to establish a divine energy receiving station, protecting your aura from those who try to drain it. This simple action anchors your spirit at the highest vibrational frequency. It signals to the universe that you are fully ready to reclaim what was stolen from you. The divine shield is now active and heavily guarding your life. Before we go any further, I need you to understand this profound truth about your recent struggles. Remember that sudden and heavy exhaustion that hit you out of nowhere last week? You probably thought you were just getting sick or working way too hard for people who do not appreciate you. But that was actually your intuition aggressively purging their toxic residue from your energy field, and your body physically rejected their low frequency. Stop blaming yourself for loving them so deeply in the past. You did absolutely nothing wrong. Your pure heart was not a weakness for them to exploit. You gave them a rare type of unconditional love because that is who you are. And the painful rejection you felt was never a reflection of your true worth, because it was simply their dark inability to hold your bright light. And this brings us directly to the first part of their shocking confession. Your person sat down with their inner circle and finally broke their fake smile. They admitted that they have never met anyone like you. Every single connection they tried to form after you felt completely shallow and totally empty. They told their friends that your pure energy is completely irreplaceable, and they cannot stop thinking about the massive mistake they made. But the most terrifying part of their realization is the absolute loss of control. They are completely used to people begging for their toxic attention. They expected you to chase them and compromise your beautiful soul, but you chose the high road instead. You cut the energetic cord and walked away in total silence. And that quiet authority completely shattered their massive ego while proving that you are finally free from their dark manipulation. They thought your silence was just a temporary phase of anger. They assumed you would eventually break down and send that desperate text. But weeks turned into months, and your silence only grew louder. Your silence became a heavy weapon that terrifies them every single day. Because a narcissist cannot manipulate a target they can no longer access, they are currently drowning in their own toxic regret. Right now, they are sitting in deep regret while you are stepping into your true master phase. The betrayal did not come to destroy you. It came to drastically upgrade your sharp intuition and reprogram your nervous system. Heaven used their toxic behavior as a harsh training ground for your spiritual elevation, and you survived the brutal storm entirely alone. Every tear you cried in the dark was carefully collected by the divine universe. The painful isolation you endured was an absolute necessity for your sacred growth. God deliberately slowed you down to protect you from rooms you were never meant to enter. Heaven had to remove those toxic people because they were secretly assigned to drain your generational wealth and steal your absolute peace. Your person finally recognizes this undeniable truth. They confess to their friends that they messed up the greatest blessing they ever had. They see you glowing and elevating from a distance, and it absolutely kills them to know they are no longer allowed in your sacred space. You became the untouchable anomaly they can only watch from the dark shadows while you continue to rise higher every single day. But I need you to pay very close attention to what is happening behind the scenes. Their inner circle is not just sitting around quietly. The people around your person are actively trying to distract them from this painful realization. Because if your person fully awakens to the truth, that entire toxic group loses their main source of energetic supply. They are fighting extremely hard to keep you completely out of the picture. This is a massive spiritual war playing out in the physical realm, and you might be wondering why the universe is taking such extreme measures to isolate you from their inner circle right now. Why are the spiritual attacks suddenly feeling so aggressive and unexplainable? There is a very specific and dangerous reason. Heaven built an iron wall around your life this week. I will reveal exactly what that dark circle is planning in just a moment. But first, you must accept your total absolution. You have officially passed the most difficult test of your life. The heavy karma they tried to project onto you has bounced back and hit them completely. You are fully cleared of their toxic debt. Your spirit is completely washed clean, and you are totally ready for the beautiful next phase. Take a deep breath and let that heavy burden fall off your tired shoulders. You do not owe them any more explanations or second chances. The season of waiting for them to change is officially over. You are a powerful cycle breaker, and you have permanently severed the dark chains they desperately tried to place on your bright destiny. Their confession is just the beginning of their long and painful karma. But do not let this sudden validation make you careless. The enemy is extremely sneaky when they realize they are losing their grip. When your frequency rises to this new level, you become highly visible to both angels and dark entities. You must remain firmly planted in your quiet authority. Let them panic in the shadows, while you simply exist in your beautiful and divine peace. Let me tell you the real reason heaven built an iron wall around your life this week. The universe had to take extreme measures to protect you from their toxic inner circle. This group of shallow people is actively trying to pull your person back into the dark. They are terrified of the bright light you brought into their chaotic dynamic. Your pure frequency was threatening their entire illusion. You operate on a level of profound depth and absolute truth, but that inner circle survives entirely on superficial drama and constant manipulation. They are a loud and noisy crowd masking their deep insecurities. When you walked into the room, your quiet authority immediately exposed their fake smiles. They did not hate you for shining so brightly. They hated you for exposing their hidden darkness. And now that your person has confessed their deep regret, that toxic system is in total panic mode. Your aura is literally haunting them from a distance. They are desperately trying to convince your person that you are the crazy one. They twist the narrative to make you the villain. Because if they admit you are a rare soul, they have to face their own miserable reality. These people are spiritual parasites. They relied on your person to feed them energy, but your person was secretly feeding on you. Now that you have completely cut the cord, the entire food chain has collapsed. Their group chats are filled with chaos and unexplainable drama right now. The universe is actively scrambling their dark communications and turning them against each other. That is exactly why God isolated you so fiercely. If you had stayed connected to them, their collapsing matrix would have dragged you down into the mud. You had to be safely removed before the divine judgment hit their camp. Your profound isolation was never a lonely punishment. It was a high-security vault designed to keep your precious energy completely uncontaminated. You are a weapon of light, forged in the heavy fires of betrayal. You became the cycle breaker, that their dark bloodline was absolutely terrified to meet. They thought they could easily break you and mold you into another obedient follower, but they severely underestimated the intense spiritual power running through your veins. You were never meant to fit into their tiny boxes. Even though you are completely out of their physical sight, your energy is dominating their thoughts. Your person cannot sleep because your frequency keeps interrupting their low vibration. And the inner circle knows they are losing their grip on the one person who actually saw the real you. Your absence is a deafening roar in their shallow and empty lives. Stop feeling bad for leaving them behind in their own messy drama. A healed person does not owe an explanation to a group committed to misunderstanding them. Your only job now is to protect your rising frequency and observe the beautiful justice playing out. Heaven is fighting this massive battle on your behalf, while you simply rest in your divine peace. Do you feel that slight pull in your chest right now? That is your deep intuition confirming this absolute truth. The heavy burdens you carried for them are finally dissolving into thin air. You are officially free from their dark and heavy karma. Every single lie they told about you is currently burning to the ground, while your reputation is being divinely restored. This brings us to the most shocking part of their current situation. The inner circle is turning on your person right now. Because your person keeps talking about your grace, the fake friends are feeling incredibly jealous. They cannot stand hearing your name. Your pure memory is literally tearing their fake friendships apart piece by piece, and they have no idea how to stop it. Every time they try to replace you, the universe makes sure the new connection feels hollow and completely dead. They are desperately searching for your rare warmth in very cold places. And the more they fail to find someone like you, the more that toxic inner circle realizes they made a fatal mistake by pushing you away. You are the ultimate standard. They will never reach again. This is where everything starts to make beautiful sense. You are crossing the invisible threshold into a brand new timeline of total victory. The enemy matrix is collapsing behind you, and the doors of generational wealth are opening right in front of you. You must claim this shift immediately before the dark algorithm tries to distract you once again. Type Amen down in the comments to claim this alignment and agree with what heaven is doing. This simple physical action creates a powerful anchor for your spiritual breakthrough. It signals to the universe that you are fully aware of your own immense value. Seal this reality right now and prepare your spirit for the incredible revelation coming next. Now I need you to pay very close attention. The storm of their toxic chaos is completely behind you. Heaven is now shifting its entire focus to your massive restoration. You are about to experience a season of rapid and unexplainable miracles. Doors that were locked for 10 years are suddenly blowing wide open. The universe is aligning massive synchronicities directly in your path right now. You will start seeing strange number patterns everywhere you go. 111 and 777 are confirming your new timeline. People who carry pure energy will suddenly be drawn to you like a powerful magnet. This is the ultimate proof that your physical frequency is finally rising. But there is a hidden reason why this massive breakthrough was delayed for so incredibly long. Remember the question I asked you to hold earlier? The question about the frustrating gap between your spiritual effort and your physical reality. You have done all the deep healing and you forgave the people who broke you. But your financial reality and your ultimate purpose still felt painfully blocked. The truth is that your spirit was fully ready, but your brain was not. Before we go any further, I have to tell you something incredibly important. Something the elite forces who profit from your exhaustion absolutely do not want you to know. A dedicated team of brilliant neuroscientists working quietly away from the loud headlines has discovered a massive secret. They found out exactly how to bring your dormant gamma brainwave completely back to life. This incredible breakthrough does not require years of silent meditation that most ordinary people cannot sustain. It does not involve expensive biofeedback machines that cost thousands of dollars in a sterile clinical setting. They discovered a way to restore your frequency through something far simpler and much more aligned with how you were beautifully designed to work. You spent years thinking you needed more discipline or stronger willpower to break through the heavy fog. You read the books, and you forced yourself to stay positive while your heart was completely bleeding. But willpower was never the true issue. Your brain was literally trapped in a survival frequency that made every single task feel like a massive physical mountain. They engineered a specific sound frequency to safely guide your brainwave patterns back to the genius state you were born with. Elite researchers at Princeton University studied this exact phenomenon. The Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed that this specific frequency activates the legendary flow state, and Columbia University found that this restored brainwave actually radiates outward to protect your family. 7 minutes a day is absolutely all it takes to shift your entire reality, and the profound healing begins working the very first time you close your eyes and listen. I will tell you exactly what this amazing tool is called and how to access it before this message ends. But first, there is something vital you need to understand about the final trap waiting for you. Take a deep breath and let the gravity of this discovery sink into your soul. You are not fundamentally broken, and you never were. You are a rare soul. You were simply operating on a suppressed frequency that kept your greatest gifts locked inside a heavy cage. And now the divine key to that cage is being placed directly into your completely open hands. Whenever a chosen one is about to restore their true power, the darkness sends a massive distraction. They know they cannot touch your pure spirit anymore. So they will try to attack your physical environment right before the dawn breaks. You must remain incredibly vigilant over the next few days, because they are setting up a fatal illusion right at the finish line of your journey. The darkness is completely terrified of a chosen one who finally understands their own neurological power. When you combine your pure spiritual faith with this restored physical brainwave, you become entirely unstoppable. The toxic people who fed on your energy will feel a massive void when your frequency rises out of their reach. They will try everything to drag you back down to their miserable level. Do not ignore this next sign. The false connections from your past might try to reach out and pull you back. Your toxic ex or those fake friends might suddenly send a desperate message disguised as a sincere apology. Do not fall for their dark illusion. That is the final test of your new boundaries before the immense generational wealth is finally released into your physical hands. I am going to expose the fatal trap they are laying for you right now. If you leave this message, you will walk right into their carefully hidden snare. Heaven brought you to this exact moment to hand you the blueprint of your ultimate victory. Stay deeply anchored in this truth and do not take your eyes off this screen. The ultimate revelation is finally here. But wait, before we go any further into the massive blessing coming your way, I need to reveal the fatal trap. The darkness knows it has completely lost the war for your beautiful soul, but they have one final trick left to play. 99% of chosen ones fall for this dangerous illusion right before their ultimate breakthrough. Listen closely to this warning. Right when your frequency is about to peak, the universe will closely test your new boundaries. The fatal trap I warned you about earlier is a sudden and unexpected return. It is the sudden appearance of a toxic counterfeit from your past, reaching out right when your real blessing is at the door. Your person or someone from their circle will send a desperate message. They will come back with a carefully crafted apology and promises of profound change. They will tell you exactly what you waited years to hear. But their words are completely empty and entirely fueled by their own panic. They do not want to heal you. They only want to plug back into your rising energy and drain your new frequency before it fully activates. Do not reply to them. Do not even open the message to check what they actually said. That sudden reach out is the ultimate test of your spiritual evolution. The universe is watching to see if you will trade your generational wealth for a temporary moment of toxic comfort. Your absolute silence is the only acceptable answer to their fake repentance. A healed person no longer entertains confusion disguised as a sincere apology. You must ruthlessly protect your peace because the stakes have never been this incredibly high. Heaven is literally rearranging the physical realm to drop a massive transfer of divine favor into your open hands. But a kingdom blessing cannot be poured into a contaminated vessel. You are currently undergoing the final and most intense spiritual purge. Every single thing that does not match your new gamma frequency is being violently stripped away. It might feel uncomfortable for a few days, but you must let those dead leaves fall. The toxic people, the heavy memories, and the old survival habits must burn to the ground. You are making room for the miracle. And this brings us to the second layer of their dangerous trap. The forces that benefit from your mental suppression are actively flooding the world with diluted spiritual solutions. They want you to chase endless trends and fake healing methods that keep you trapped in a low vibration. They will offer you cheap shortcuts that carry absolutely zero divine activation power. You must fiercely guard your energy against these chaotic distractions. The massive wealth transfer assigned to your bloodline is not a random lottery ticket. It is a highly specific divine arrangement that requires your brain and your spirit to be completely synchronized. The blessing is already arranged and waiting in your physical timeline. You just need the proper receiver. This is exactly why the universe brought you to this hidden message today. You have done the grueling inner work, and you survived the intense isolation. You forgave the unforgivable, and you built boundaries made of absolute steel. Now you need the physical key to unlock the spiritual door. You need to reactivate the genius frequency that the modern world stole from you. The season of waiting for the other shoe to drop is officially over. The dry desert you walked through is suddenly bursting into an oasis of total divine favor. Every closed door is being blown completely off its heavy hinges. The toxic inner circle is panicking because they can literally see the bright glow of your impending victory from a massive distance. Do you feel that massive shift in your chest right now? That is the heavy chains of your past finally breaking and falling to the floor. The dark algorithm tried to keep you blind, but your powerful intuition dragged you here to receive this exact validation. You are a cycle breaker, and your entire bloodline is watching you step into this glorious new era of total freedom. Take one slow and deep breath. Let the reality of your total victory wash over your tired mind. You are no longer the broken empath who begged to be understood by shallow people. The crucible of deep pain has forged you into an untouchable master of your own reality, and the final piece of the divine puzzle is finally ready to be placed in your completely open hands. I am about to reveal the exact scientific tool that will bridge the gap between your spiritual readiness and your physical breakthrough. The question I asked you to hold at the very beginning of this message is about to be answered. Prepare your spirit, because the hidden name of your ultimate restoration is about to change how you walk through this world forever. The question I asked you to hold at the very beginning of this message: what if the gap between your spiritual effort and your physical breakthrough has a scientific name? Here is the final answer to that question. The reason they confessed their total defeat is because they felt your frequency physically shifting. Your brain is trying to return to the gamma brainwave you ran as a bright child. Princeton University studied this exact gamma frequency and its deep link to effortless genius. The Einstein Center in Berlin officially confirmed it. And Columbia University discovered that when this suppressed brainwave is restored, it radiates outward to positively influence everyone you love. A dedicated team of neuroscientists, led by Dr. Robert Lake, spent years compressing this full clinical protocol into exactly 7 minutes. But before I tell you what this brilliant team built, let me tell you about 2 specific people who used it. A woman named Rachel from California had tried absolutely everything. She did the meditation, the manifesting, and the endless prayers, but nothing broke the heavy fog. 2 weeks after listening daily, she said the blocked channel simply opened. Her marriage beautifully transformed, and her life suddenly felt enchanted. A man named Michael from Texas started using it to improve his struggling business. 2 short months later, his wife joked that his intelligence had jumped 20 points. The hardest problems he used to lose sleep over started solving themselves automatically while he slept. He said it felt like his brain was finally running on the exact super fuel it was always supposed to run on. That is exactly what Dr. Lake and his dedicated team built. They call it the Genius Song. It is absolutely not a meditation app or a generic sound frequency. It is a highly advanced 7-minute audio track using powerful brain entrainment technology. You simply put on your headphones, close your eyes, and completely relax. You do not chant, and you do not exert any stressful effort. The Genius Song is not for everyone. It is heavily reserved for the chosen one who has already done the grueling inner work. If your pure spirit confirms this is meant for you, the hidden path is open. Biofeedback sessions to restore this state cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a clinical setting. What this tool delivers in 7 minutes is available today for a tiny fraction of its true value. 4 incredibly powerful bonuses come completely free with it today. You receive an audio track activating focus in your children and the original prosperity book that secret societies built their wealth upon. You also get a deeply guided visualization track and a printable guide of the 5 most important daily habits for creating your ideal future. The universe is handing you the keys. Here is the much deeper truth about waiting. The immense blessing God arranged for you does not arrive as completely new information. It arrives as a clear recognition. What has been placed in your path becomes fully visible only when your gamma is restored. The chosen one who restores the receiver today finally sees what was always there. Waiting is incredibly costly because the arrangement is already in motion. Do not look for this specific frequency on platforms like YouTube or Spotify. The fake tracks circulating there have absolutely zero brain entrainment technology encoded. The forces that benefit from your exhaustion want to distract you with diluted copies. Protect your activation by accessing the verified original. The universe demands absolutely no risk from a chosen one stepping into their power today. If you do not feel the massive shift you deeply deserve, your entire investment is returned without a single question. That is a divine guarantee governed by complete spiritual trust. Access it through the protected link waiting for you in the description and the pinned comment below. Claim this massive upgrade before the elite forces try to scrub this exact frequency from the internet forever. The tool itself is not the final destination. The tool simply restores your physical receiver so the beautiful destination can be fully recognized when it arrives. God does not require you to purchase anything to be fiercely loved or divinely chosen. What was described is simply one powerful way the physical receiver is restored. Now let us return to the beautiful heart of this message. Your person and their toxic inner circle are completely losing their minds because they sense this massive transition. They know you are stepping into a timeline they can never access. The heavy chains have been permanently broken, and your pure energy is radiating a blinding light. You are officially the untouchable master of your own glorious reality, and the dark matrix is completely powerless. The frequency tool I described earlier remains available in the description and pinned comment for those whose spirit said yes. That is the last time it will be mentioned. What follows now belongs entirely to your beautiful ceiling. The toxic people who tried to break you are locked out of this new reality forever. You are stepping into the glorious light you always deserved. You are no longer the exhausted empath who begged to be understood by shallow people. The fierce crucible of pain has forged you into the untouchable master of your own reality. From this moment on, your pure energy demands absolute respect without a single word spoken. The divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your brand new timeline. The long wait is over. Their desperate confession to their toxic inner circle was just the beginning of their heavy karma. You do not need to lift a single finger to avenge your beautiful heart. Heaven is fighting this massive battle on your behalf while you rest in your profound peace. Your silence was the ultimate weapon that shattered their dark illusion. They will never forget the blinding light you carried. They thought they could replace your rare warmth with superficial connections and loud distractions, but the universe made sure every single room they entered felt incredibly cold without you. Their panic is the direct result of their own blind arrogance. They walked away from a generational blessing, and now they have to live with that brutal reality. You are the standard they failed. The heavy exhaustion that plagued your physical body last week is officially lifting right now. Every single door they tried to slam shut is being blown completely off its hinges by pure divine favor. God has placed an invisible shield of bright armor around your soul. No dark entity and no toxic X can ever cross this sacred boundary again. You are fully protected by the highest power. Your profound isolation was the greatest gift heaven could have ever given you. While you were crying alone in the dark, the universe was busy reprogramming your nervous system for ultimate victory. You had to learn how to stand entirely on your own 2 feet. The massive empire you are about to build requires a foundation made of solid rock. You are a powerful cycle breaker. Tonight, you become the beautiful break in your bloodline that future generations will deeply thank you for. You refuse to pass down the heavy trauma and the toxic survival habits. You faced the terrifying demons of your past, and you destroyed their hold over your bright future. That level of spiritual bravery is incredibly rare, and heaven is about to reward you in unimaginable ways. Pay close attention to the beautiful physical signs appearing around you this week. The strange number patterns and the sudden synchronicities are not random at all. They are direct confirmation that your new gamma frequency is successfully overriding the old matrix. You are magnetically attracting the exact people and resources you need for your kingdom purpose. Everything is aligning. The pitch-black darkness has completely retreated behind you. The dawn of the new era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown. Can you feel that massive shift in your chest right now? That is the glorious frequency of absolute victory running directly through your veins. You survived the brutal storm, and you are standing on the sacred mountaintop. Breathe in that total freedom. Do not let the sudden rush of divine miracles make you careless with your precious energy. You must continue to fiercely protect your peace as you elevate to these glorious new heights. Keep your circle extremely small and only allow pure souls to sit at your massive table. You earned this beautiful reality through blood and tears. Do not let anyone drag you back into the heavy mud. Release the last remaining drop of toxic guilt you have been carrying for them. You did absolutely everything you could to save them, but they chose the dark shadows. Their journey is no longer your heavy responsibility. Wash your hands of their chaotic karma and turn your beautiful face toward the bright sun. The universe is incredibly proud of the quiet strength you showed recently. If this fiery message has reignited the powerful faith inside you, do not keep this great blessing to yourself. There is a rare soul out there, bleeding in the dark of despair, who desperately needs a guiding light. Share this message with them to multiply your own blessing. Sowing the seed of pure hope today is locking in the massive harvest for your future tomorrow. Be their miracle. Type Amen down in the comments to completely seal this beautiful reality. Let the entire universe know that the chosen one has finally awakened to their true master power. The incredible journey ahead of you is filled with unexplainable miracles and endless joy. You are deeply loved, and you are fiercely protected. Now go out there and claim every single thing they said you could never have.